Hi, I'm Ron. Before we begin, I just wanted to let you know that all my references are going to be listed on the text. And before we jump right into this, this was a very unique experience for me, being that I come from a Christian family and looking into another religion and another culture entirely. Uh, Definitely was an eye opener for me. So, my culture analysis, I'll look into Islamic practice. First off and foremost is that Muslim is an Arabic word for submitter to God. In other words, for a Muslim culture, their entire basis is on their religion, which is Islam. And it's a monotheistic Abrahamic religion, the same as Christianity. They are both classified as monotheistic Abrahamic religions. A Muslim is a person who has dedicated his worship exclusively to God. Islam means making one religion and faith gods alone. And this comes from Ibn Arabi, I apologize if I butcher the names, a commentary on the Quran and Razi. Their origins is actually quite interesting because they started off in Asia. Now, the study done in 2010 shows, based on world Muslims for the first number, and then the second number being what it is in that area. So 69% of Muslims worldwide is in Asia, but they only make up 27.5% of the Asian population. 27% are in Africa worldwide, but they make up 43.3% in Africa. 2.9 in Europe, which is actually only like 49 million European population. They make up 24% of the global population. That is 1.65 billion people. And that was found in the Katani 8, 2010 January World Muslim Population and Proceedings of the 8th Hawaii Interfaith Conference on Arts and Human Faith. The Islamic branches of schooling, they actually branch out into two. You have Sunni, which is based off of the word sunnah, meaning teachings and actions. When I was looking up the history of Islam and how it all came to be, is they had originally had Muhammad as their prophet, and the successors for him, they had 4 successors in alignment. Now, the Sunni went for this one man named Abu Bakr. Hope I said that right. And initially what happened was that you had 2 groups that went for him. You had the Sunni and the Karahi. Now, the Karahi, their name translated actually means those who seceded. And it's a common term that you will use when you're having a disagreement with someone and they're not agreeing with you. You usually will call them Karahi. And what happened was that they originally were with the Sunnis in having Abu Bakr as a successor for Muhammad. But later on, they seceded from him and they were given that name. And they are the largest denomination, mind you. The Sunni are the largest denomination. You have another group called the Shia, and they went with Ali ibn Abi Talib as the rightful successor to Muhammad. Now, Ali was actually a cousin and son-in-law to Muhammad, which is what they thought was the reason why he should be a legitimate successor. They rejected legitimacy of the other 3 caliphs, and this I found in the Tabatabai 1979. So one of the big things that we as a culture look into is what it is that they use for their rulings. And for Muslim cultures, they use Sharia law. Now, Sharia in Arabic actually means path. So it is the rightful path. And it is derived from the Quran and the Sunnah. Now remember, Sunnah does mean teachings and actions. So what it has done is it's the sayings, practicings, and teachings of Muhammad on top of what is written in the Quran. It was developed several hundred years after Muhammad's death. The most significant aspects of Sharia law are marriage and divorce. Now, marriage and divorce is it's a harsh punishment for them. And for harsh punishments, they have what we call a had. Now, that's HADD in spelling. I had troubles with that. And Had punishments are extremely severe, and they include stonings, amputations, floggings, exiles. However, those are not general sentences nowadays. They actually take lesser punishments, are considered to be very sufficient. This culture I found extremely interesting due in the fact that in some ways it's very similar to Christianity, and in some ways it's vastly different. Some of those um, similarities I found was that in Christianity, you are taught to be charitable, you're taught to not judge others. And when you look at Muslim cultures and their religious background, it's actually very much the same. The concept that it's a terrorist based religion is nothing at all, is what it actually is. It's very similar to how, when you think of Christianity, the extremist aspect of it is you think KKK. That is what we think of with their extremes, is that you have Islam teachings, and the extreme for that would be Al Qaeda, and then the most notable now is the ISIS group. Thank you for your time, and I hope you found this as much as educationally as I did.